Warriors have lost 3 of 4, taking on the Spurs.
Ball up there a little bit earlier so you could get 3 free throws.
Yeah, the key there was 8.7 seconds. You probably even could have went for a dribble handoff with Steph. You don't have to get 3 at that position. You can go get a 2, put them back on the free throw line, and then come back and play offense again.
So Steph Curry winds up with 32 points, including 14 alone in the fourth quarter. And what a road trip. He had 28 in Dallas game 1. He had 57 on Saturday night. And
the efficiency has been so incredible. He's just driving defensive coaches in the league crazy. Because you know he's the top 5 options on their scouting report, and he's going out there and getting 30 and making it look easy. It's just incredible at the level he's playing at this point in time.
He's top 5, so what do they have on the board? Curry, Steph, Wardell, number 30. What else you got?
Just a big Steph.
Curry!
Steph, and a 30. It's incredible. It really is. It's just great to watch. I mean, every night it's must-see TV.
And he was a teammate of yours when he was young. He's just so much fun. And we were kidding about the June Bug Challenge. Before the game, he jumps up on the scores table. We were talking about Eric Paschall returning tonight, and he was doing the June Bug. But if you look over the camera, we'll pan back, and you see what Steph Curry with James Wiseman. He's teaching.
I gotta get some lessons from my son, man.
How to do the June Bug?
Yeah, the June Bug. I think I can do it a little bit, but not really. But this right here is having fun, man. He's
Thursday on Warriors pregame live. I want to see your June Bug.
All right, I'm gonna work on it.
That's what happens when you're prepared. No matter what the defense does, he has an answer for it.
Right.
And that's where the passion and joy and the fun comes out. No matter what they do to him, he has an answer for it. It's just really amazing to watch.
All right, so let's examine the game of Draymond Green tonight. And obviously, another double-digit assist total from, I guess, your center. It's just amazing. We saw this early in the game, his second assist of the night. Draymond joins 3,000 career assists. You're talking about the underrated Guy Rodgers from the Philadelphia, San Francisco Warriors. What a great point guard he was. He was always overlooked by the great Bob Cousy in Boston and others, but he was a great player. Steph and Tim, obviously. So 3 point guards, Darrell, and 2 of the best passing.
He was cutting, which I really like. Cutting off the ball, Draymond was finding him. And Pop, you bring up Draymond Green. He's your prototypical point forward, right, with incredible vision. But with this group, he's actually the point guard. He's really handling the ball a lot, allowing Steph to play off the ball. And in these last few games, I think the body movement has been much better from other players. You know, Steph always does it. I think Oubre's catching on. JTA has been cutting for nice layups. So I think they play Spurs tomorrow. They got to get that pace going like they had in Dallas.
Yes.
So we are going to hear from Draymond Green later in the show. And the line of question.
You know, we're up 3. The worst thing that could hurt us is a 3. You know, so I think him, you know, trying to outsmart the defense, he threw it up there a little bit sooner. So if he did foul, he'd be going to the free throw line for 3 shots instead of 2.
8.7 is a lot of time. And you don't have to have a 3 at that point. Yeah, you want a 3, but you can still either go get a quick layup and foul San Antonio again, or Draymond caught there. He could have tried and dribble handoff with Steph. Still, if they foul you, it's still 5 seconds left. You go down, down 2 free throws. Now you're down 1. You play the foul game again. Now you try and, you know, play offense down with 5 seconds, down 2 or 3.
It's interesting because we mentioned the Oubre Jr. right corner 3. He had wide open. He also had a left corner 3 later, and he threw it into Draymond Green. Draymond got fouled. He missed both free throws, not looking good. So you have to wonder about his mentality here. But he was seeking out 3 free throws. I mean, ordinarily you'd think it's a hot potato. I don't want to touch the ball. I'm not going to make the free throws. But he was trying to go back to the line and shoot 3 after he just missed 2 and did not look good on either.
Yeah, most basketball players, they want to redeem themselves. So I think he was going to that line thinking, hey, I'm going to step up here and make 3 big free throws for my team. So like Mully said, he probably could have dribbled handoff or got to the basket. Maybe they would have fouled. Maybe they let him go straight through. But I definitely think he wanted to get those 2 free throws he missed back for sure.
He flirted with the triple-double. He played a really good game. He was more aggressive tonight again, driving the ball, getting, you know, offensive mind, his mindset I love. Look, he would like that play back, no question. And I think, to me, the key is the time on the clock. There's 8.7. That's a lot of time in an NBA game.
All right, stick around later on Warriors Postgame Live. You're going to want to hear Draymond Green on the line of questioning on what happened there at the end of the game. So the Warriors have not lost 3 consecutive games all year. They got to win tomorrow night, or they're going to lose the last 3 on this Texas two-step 2 times over. Let's hear from Bob Fitzgerald and Kalen Azubuike on the game tomorrow night.
Well, the Warriors have not lost 3 games in a row all year. That's going to be tested tomorrow. But you look at these tight games they've played. Boston beat them. Dallas beat them. The Warriors lost tonight, and it feels worse to lose when you know that turnovers and lack of execution played a big role.
These close games, you just can't have empty possessions. And the Spurs actually gave him a couple back there where they turned it right back over. That normally doesn't happen, and you expect that not to happen next game, tomorrow night. But you said it, the Spurs probably aren't going to shoot as bad as they did tonight. So you're kind of frustrated if you're the Warriors. Got to take care of the ball. They were a little sloppy at times with the passing. And then to end the game there, I think Draymond kind of outthought himself there a little bit. He's so smart, such a high IQ. But you just let them foul you. If they're going to foul you, can't anticipate that and try to get 3 free throws out. You had time to get the ball back to Steph. That was the only way you kind of mess it up when you're trying to anticipate and you shoot the 3 ball and there's no way it's going in and they get the ball back, they end the game. So tough way to lose, but you want to bounce back. They haven't lost 3 in a row this season yet. Yep. So we'll see if they can bounce back.
You want to value possessions. You definitely could score on San Antonio, and you held them to 40% shooting. So a lot of good things to take from this game. But there's a reason the Warriors are 3-41 in San Antonio. And no matter what happens, they're not seeing San Antonio the rest of the season. Tomorrow finishes the season series.
Yeah, really weird games in San Antonio. And DeMar DeRozan, you expect him to play well again. 21 tonight. He had a nice floor game. But DeJounte Murray, he's a problem. And that mid-range jumper was working. He hit that huge 3 ball where you felt like there was no chance of going in over Andrew Wiggins. The length on Andrew Wiggins, you hit that shot over him. So he's a big-time player, not afraid to take big-time shots. They got a lot of clutch guys. So that's one thing about this Popovich team. They don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves, and they're really good closing. You talked about them closing but ending quarters well, too. So they're really particular there.
Well, so you look at it for the Warriors. The streak. Don't lose 3 in a row. More importantly, get a split on the back end of a baseball series and put all that frustration from tonight, take it out on the Spurs tomorrow.
Kalena, both these teams have played now 24 games. San Antonio's 4 over at 14-10. This loss drops the Warriors back to 500 at 12-12, so tomorrow night's going to be important. But what happens lose a second in a row in Texas, first time in San Antonio. They'll play again tomorrow night. They wind up losing by 5. They were up 14 with 3.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. Did not score well, barely got to 100. Steph Curry, a brilliant game with 32. 14 in the fourth quarter. They turned the ball over too much, 20 turnovers. Draymond Green, 7 points. He had 10 assists in the game again. He also had 10 rebounds, and he had a very active game. But there was a interesting shot off the backboard at the end of the game. So we got to get clarification on exactly what Draymond was thinking and what the Spurs were trying to do. Let's get reaction right now back to San Antonio from Warriors head coach Steve Kerr.
Did you get an explanation or ask Draymond what happened in that final sequence?
Which one?
When he threw up the shot, was still about 6 seconds left, that long three-pointer.
He thought they were going to foul him, and that's why he put it up to, thinking he would get three free throws out of it.
Was that a conversation at all coming out of the huddle that they might do that strategy?
No, we knew we had 8.7 on the clock, and so and the Spurs generally do not foul in those situations. It's probably my fault for not informing the team that the Spurs don't usually foul. But we knew we had 8.7 to drive and kick, to plenty of options with that kind of time, and so we were just trying to spread the floor and get a good look.
Steve Carlos Ramirez, NBC Bay Area and Telemundo. You said in the last game in Dallas that you thought they won the game instead of you guys losing it. Does tonight feel the other way around, especially with the turnovers?
Well, I think first you got to give them credit. I mean, DeJounte Murray hit an incredible three-point shot down the stretch, which put us in a tough spot. But yeah, 20 turnovers. That's what lost the game. I think we gave up 10 more field goal attempts than we were able to get ourselves, and it's tough to win in that situation. So the turnovers were killer. We rebounded well, and we did a lot of things well. The turnover disparity was the biggest difference in the game.
Steve, I recognize I'm asking this question on a night where Steph Curry is your leading scorer again, but are the Spurs one of the teams that are better at defending Steph? Like, for example, he only had 7 shots at halftime. Was that a question of them putting the clamps on Steph, or was Steph trying to feed the hot hand with Oubre?
No, I think, first of all, Murray is a hell of a defender. He's an all-league defender. He had 8 steals tonight. They put him on him, so he makes it difficult for Steph to get free. And then they put Derek White on Draymond to try to put a little pressure on Draymond handling the ball as well. So they changed up the look a little bit from what we normally see. And I thought they did a good job defensively. We still got a lot of good looks. We got what we wanted when we took care of the ball. Had a lot of open shots, but again, the turnovers, particularly the unforced ones, are the killers.
Is there a temptation to try to push it with Steph minute-wise in some of these games? I mean, I think you guys were a +3 with him, but maybe like a -8 tonight with them off.
Right. Not for me. I'm into the long game. We're counting on having Steph here for a long time, many, many years ahead. And I'm not interested in grinding through this season, which is already a very difficult season given the COVID regulations and just the nature of the games themselves. These eerie, empty stadiums. This is, for me, for our organization, we're not throwing Steph out there for 40 minutes to chase wins. We got another game tomorrow. We want Steph to be playing at a high level for many years, so we're going to stay very disciplined and try to keep him at that 34, 35-minute mark.
Steve, to follow up on Steph, how do you make sure that he doesn't get too frustrated given the games that he's putting together and the fact that it's still coming up short some of these times?
I don't need to do anything. Steph's a grown-up. He's an incredible teammate. He has full awareness of what we're doing right now and what this season is about. Bringing along young players and trying to be a playoff team and make a push. Trying to do all that at once. Steph's all in, and he never gets down. That's part of his brilliance. Is just his overall attitude and approach and joy for the game. And so Steph's not frustrated. He doesn't like to lose. He's a big-time competitor, but he'll hang in.
Steve, what was the difference in the fourth quarter versus the second and third quarters when he was having a hard time getting open?
Well, I thought he really took it upon himself in the last 6 minutes to get going. He sensed that that we had to have him, and he had a great first half. I think he had 15 points. Third quarter was a little slow in terms of open looks, but I give them credit for playing really good defense against him. You probably saw we got a ton of wide open layups during the third quarter, slips to the rim. So if they're going to send 2 people at Steph all the time, we'll take those layups all night. But that's the trade-off. Steph may not get as many shots up himself.
It felt like Kelly Oubre.
So in the last 2 games, Steph Curry combines to score 89 points, 57 on Saturday night. You lose the game. He comes back with 32 more tonight, and you lose the game. And they were 9 straight quarters to open this road trip, easily 30 or more. First quarter of the night, they had 36. And then every quarter, Mully, it got worse and worse and worse, 23, 21, and 20. And Steph scored 14 of your 20 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, a lot of nights when the Warriors play good defense and they don't make shots, it kind of wears on. You can see the frustration set in. I think tonight that was the turnover because they were playing well. They were playing good defense. They were at halftime, San Antonio was shooting 38%. They only had a 5-point lead because of the turnover. How about this, though, Darrell? They're saying how well San Antonio guarded Steph Curry. He was 10 for 17, 6 for 11. He had 32 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
in one
And that's
turnover.
locking him down.
That's crazy.
He could have gone for 57. Like
For sure.
the other night.
Yeah, he definitely could. But I think, just like Mully said, those turnovers really weighed him down. 20 turnovers, a lot of unforced turnovers, you know, just bad passes. So they definitely need to clean that up, because that's what kept them in the game. You know, they still shot 40% from the field, the Spurs, and gave themselves a chance to win the game. So they just got to clean that up and take better care of the ball tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, they had 29 assists. They did a lot of things well, as Steve Kerr was saying. You know, played defense without fouling, rebounded well, but really ultimately giving San Antonio 10 more field goal attempts is what got them in the end.
Now let's take a look at some of the statistical breakdown of the game, as the Warriors did outshoot them. They were 38 of 86 to San Antonio's 39 of 96. The Warriors made 2 more threes, 13 of 37 to San Antonio's 11 of 31. The free throwing was pretty even. San Antonio made 5 more. You mentioned the rebounding, Molly. The Warriors out-rebounded. But one area, Darrell, you're losing tonight is the turnovers.
Yes.
And they had 20, and a lot of them.
So all those easy layups that they gave up, as San Antonio was struggling to find offense, they were just gifting them layups, keeping them in the game. And you do that to a good team, soon enough it's going to bite you. And that's really what happened. You know, so we can focus on the last possession, the last minute of the game, but it was the overall carelessness of taking care of the basketball.
Well, they actually had a 14-point lead. They were up 45-31, 3.5 minutes into the second quarter, and their sloppiness in that quarter led to the big San Antonio 22-9 run to come back and tie the game. So this is something that's been an ongoing concern. Even when they won championships around here, I think it was Steve Kerr's #1 pet peeve, was they were just sloppy with the basketball some nights.
Yeah, I thought they were sloppy to close out the first half. You know, they had that 14-point lead, and then they start turning the ball over, you know, bad passes and just miscommunication on a lot of those passes that we saw. So they just got to learn how to close the first half the right way and build on that 14-point lead. You don't want to get this type of team any type of confidence, because they're players. They caught fire and they hit big shots when it was time.
All right, so after scoring 147 points and then 134 in Dallas, our over-under, because that's what we think they're going to do, but they barely got to 100. They got 100 points tonight. Way under.
And after putting up, what was it, 9 quarters of
9
over
straight
30,
30-point quarters.
they went 23, 21, 20. Steady decline. Could be a little fatigue, too. They were playing with 9 players in Dallas. They got Pascal back tonight. But quick turnaround, and you still have an opportunity to split in San Antonio.
Short-term memory. Have short-term memory, get ready for tomorrow, and get it back going to those 30 a quarter, because I like that style of play.
Without question. 23-point quarter, 21-point quarter, 20-point quarter. I know one man single-handedly that scored 37